So when we get started, I will always announce that the session is being recorded. Please make sure that your computers are on mute if you do not want anything that you say recorded. All right. So the session is being recorded as of now. There will be actually more than that, 3 classes in this session. So I will refer to the ATA team. I may refer to the AM class 1, AM class 2. I'll show you how to find what class you're in if you don't know. During our communication together, I may ask the question, what class are you in, especially if you're reaching out to me, only because there's, I think, probably upwards of 60 people in this class. So just so you know, when you reach out to me, I will ask you what class. So if you say morning class, I'm like, well, try to know which class you're in, but I'll show you where to get that from. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So my name is Cynthia Taylor. For those of you who do not know, I did send out an announcement this morning. There's also a welcome video there. It just talks to you about the class. But as I told you in the welcome video, and please make sure you take time to watch it, a lot of what is in the video I will discuss today, especially when it comes to how do you navigate the classroom. All right. But a little bit about myself. I am a Florida native with my native Floridians at. Give me a thumbs up if this is your hometown. Also, Army vet. Any military folks in the house? Where my military folks? I know I always have one or two. Don't leave me hanging. I was in the Army for about 11 years. I did that. And then I also have a background in nonprofit. I have a background in finance, a background in working for the government. Just was consulting with the Department of Commerce. That was my last job. And most importantly, I've been teaching as an adjunct professor, sometimes full-time, sometimes part-time, for about, it'll be 20 years now. I need to update that. I think this is my 20th year, or will be. I think I'm year 19 now, since 2007, whatever that was. All right. So that's how long I've been teaching. I've taught finance, business, IT, and now law. I'm going to be teaching law, AI, all different types of stuff. So I've been teaching a lot of different subjects for a lot of different people. I traveled a lot. I actually taught in Africa, taught in New York, taught in Jersey, taught online, taught in Florida. Teaching. So a lot of teaching. All right. So enough about me. As we continue to go along in the class, I will introduce quite a few of you guys, and you'll self-introduce, and you'll understand what I mean by that in a few minutes. I forgot to mention my time here at Southern Tech. I've been with Southern Tech off and on for about maybe 3 years, since 2021. No, how long is that? Oh my God, almost 5 years off and on. Wow, that's crazy. Time flies. I think I can't even remember now. It's been so long. But anyway, that's what happens when you're having fun. So I know a lot of you may say, why this class? Who's graduating? Give me a thumbs up if you're graduating, because I know you guys are really like, why is it in this class? All right, look at my graduates. Okay, y'all ready to make money. I know. Trust me, I've been in school long enough to know. Ever since I graduated high school, I've been in college. For some reason, I've been in school. It's like a never-ending saga. Not to scare you, but lifelong learner, that is a thing. So I know a lot of you are probably saying, okay, I'm ready to work, or maybe you already have a job, or maybe you don't have a job and you're a year away, and you're still wanting to know, why do I have to take this class? Well, there's a lot of different reasons why you have to take this class. I'm gonna first give you the I guess the academic reason, then I'll talk to you a little bit about the real world reason. Number one, tell me if you agree with this assessment. Do you think it's important for you to know how business works? Give me a thumbs up if you think. Yeah, right? For a lot of different reasons, right? Number one, you're going to be working at somebody's business. Number two, you could be running your own. So whether you're working for someone or working for yourself, you're still working for a business. Will we not agree with that? And if you want to be successful, and if you want to make it up the ranks, whether you're successful doing it for yourself or successful doing it for somebody else, I don't think any of you are going to school to say, all I want to do is just get my first job and stay there for 30 years. I mean, I'm not judging you if that's your thing, but most of us, that's not where we are with it. Most of us, we are trying to start a new career so that we can be as successful as possible. Well, part of that success requires you to understand how business works. All right. Speaking to how things works, let me give you a little bit of that story because I see your hand up. Um, I don't want to butcher that name. Is it Glow Giesean? I know I didn't do that right. Your hand is up. Okay, put it down. I want to know if I did that right. I probably didn't do it right. But anyway, um, if you raise your hand, you can definitely raise your hand in class anytime you have a question. So please feel free to do that. But if you do raise your hand, I'm going to assume you have a question. So most times I ask you to participate by a thumbs up or emojis or something. If you do raise your hand, our hand raising is for questions and you can raise it at any time and I will make sure that I address whatever question you have. All right. All right. So we've stated that it is important for us to understand how business works. Let's look at some of these reasons here. It says that understanding business can be a powerful asset to a trades student. Why? It opens doors beyond hands-on work. And we already agreed that we're trying to do more than get our first gig, right? We've agreed on that. What does it do? It helps set you up for leadership, entrepreneurship, and long-term financial success. So when we talk about understanding how business works, if we look over here to the left, this diagram, it says that, if you want to own your own business, you need to understand how business works because it's more than just being a really good tech person, it's being a really good vet, being a really good HVAC person, welder. You need to understand the business of welding, the business of electrical, the business of the veterinary field, right? It's not good enough just to be in it. Financially, you definitely need to understand how the money flows. I think we can get an amen on that, right? You got to know how the money works in your industry. Many of you will be working in projects. You'll have project teams. Sometimes you may be a project manager. You may go work for a general contractor. They're going to want you to understand that or probably go back to school to understand it, especially if you're going to end up becoming a manager. And then one of the reasons why you're in this class for career advancement, to learn how to become something more than what you're starting out as. And so you may say, well, wait a minute, Miss Lady, I'm going to get my first job and then I'm going to figure it out. Sorry to sound like that, but we already know that's not realistic. How many people know it's not realistic to say, I'm just going to get my first job and my career is going to work itself out? Who believes that? That ain't how it works, right? I'm sure, listen, sugar, that's not how it works, right? I'm sure our grandparents would have told us that. No, you have to plan. What? You mean to tell me graduating is not the plan? No, no. That's a part of the plan. That's a part of the plan. It's an important part of the plan, right? Most people would say it's the first step. But if you are going to be successful, you need a plan, not an idea, not a dream, not an aspiration. And we're going to dispel all those myths here in this class. You need a plan. So the question is, how do I create a plan? Well, have no fear. I'm here. I'm going to teach you how to create a plan. So that's the academic reason, all these different reasons why you need to understand how business works. And we're going to talk about how business works in this class. But here's some of the practical reasons why this class is important. Back in the day, and I'm going to say that a lot, y'all just excuse me, once we become a certain age, we use that vernacular a lot. Back in the day, when you started working at a company, they would assign you, now I know this may sound foreign to some of you, a mentor. Has anybody ever worked at a company where they've assigned you a mentor? It's okay. You don't have, I know most of you are not as old as me. Oh, okay. I see a thumb up. A mentor. Can you believe it? I remember when I left the military, and that's a whole other story. And I went to my first job. It was at a pharmaceutical company. And they sat me down within 60 days and they said, okay, Miss Taylor, what do you want to do at this company? How do you want to be successful? Do you want to work your way up to the top? Tell us the path you want to go, and we are going to assign you a mentor. They had tuition assistance, and they're going to help me go back to school, and I was going to work my way up to the top. And if I would have had any common sense, I would have stayed there. But I just thought all companies do that. Well, let me tell you, those days are long gone. Most companies only expect you to stay with their company maybe 3 to 5 years. 10 years is a decade. 20 some years ago, people expected you to stay at the company. How many people have a family member that has been on their job for more than 20 years? How many people have a family more than 20 years? That's like ancient, right? I see Guy says he does. Guy, you want to say something? Oh, you just okay, just hand raised. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot, right? Nowadays, that's unheard of, right? We would love to still see it happens, but y'all see what is happening in the news. Even when you do stay on the job, then they do what? They let you go, right? But here's the problem with this idea of no longer being on jobs for a long period of time. It's not so much because people don't want to be on jobs for a long period of time, and it's not so much just because companies don't want you to be there, right? Because I don't think that that's the truth. The reality of the situation is the flow of the natural flow of the economy, the natural flow of how advancement, technology, it shifts how we operate, right? So many companies, they're trying to, y'all see what's happening with AI. They're trying to get more efficient. They're trying to change this. They don't need people for that. And so because of those reasons, a lot of times they take away from certain things. They take money away from mentoring. They take money away from education. And so when you don't invest in your people, then they have to invest in themselves. Is that not the case? If they're not going to mentor you up the career ladder, then who's going to do it? Well, universities, not just Southern Tech, decided, well, you know what, we're going to have to do that. We can't just send people off on their own and say, go with the force and let the force take you wherever you're going to go, right? This is not Star Wars, right? You have to figure out what it is you're going to do before you get started. So in essence, guys, this class is really all about you. This class is about preparing you, giving you some type of roadmap, helping you to figure out what your roadmap can be so that when you go off and you graduate, you'll have a plan. Does that make sense? We're not just going to give you the diploma that you earned. We're going to, so you can have some type of confidence. Am I going to go here? Am I going to go there? Am I going to invest in this? Am I going to invest in that? Am I going to stay? Am I going to go? You need to know where you're going to go. Because if not, then you're going to put yourself at the mercy of just having a job. And you did not go to school and come all of this way just to have a job, did you? Anybody just want a job? No, you came all this way, you put in all this time so that you can have a career. And in order to have a career, fortunately or unfortunately, you have to plan for that. So that's what this class is about. But don't worry, we're going to give you a lot of tools. We're going to give you a lot of tools to help you. There's so much that you need to put. And I want, for those of us, y'all, technical people, y'all know about your bags, right? There's a lot of stuff you got to put in your toolkit. So we're going to give you a lot of things to put into your toolkit to help you be successful. One thing that we're going to talk about in this class, I know it's something that a lot of us, I don't know, some people have anxiety about interviewing, some people don't. I mean, some people like talking about themselves, but there is a technique to interviewing. So in this class, and I love this segment when we talk about interviewing, we are going to dispel all the myths of interviewing. I'm going to take you through all the structures of interviews, why they ask certain interview questions, how to answer these interview questions, what they look for when you show up, how to dress, what not to do, subjective elements, all different kinds of things that are happening during the interview process. We're going to dispel that myth. I promise you, by the time you get out of this course, you will be a pro at interviewing. That's one thing you're going to put in your toolkit. Another thing you're going to put in your toolkit, and tell me if you agree with this statement, it's important to network. Do you think it's important to network? Okay, I'm glad you agree. But many of us may say, well, listen, I don't know those people. I don't know how network. How do I network? What does that mean? How do I get started? How do I talk to strangers? We're going to dispel that myth. There is a tool, another tool you can put in your toolkit called informational interviewing. What is this? This is how you start networking with people. One tool that you use to network is informational interviewing. But what I love about this toolkit, this tool specifically, is you don't just use it for interviewing, you also use it to help you with your career. So you may say, Miss Taylor, what is informational interviewing? Well, if you've ever heard of picking someone's brain, it kind of is that. Anybody ever heard of picking someone's brain? If you know what that's about, then you're going to understand what informational interviewing is about. So we're going to be picking people's brain throughout this class, and we're going to tell you how you're going to start picking someone's brain. Yes, you are going to be efficient at networking when we're done with this course. Of course, we all need these resumes, and I know some of us have resumes, some of us have been working with career services, and that's great. You will continue to work with career services in doing your resume. You will be working with career services in doing your practice mock interviews that you'll be doing. But what we're going to do in class, I am going to teach you the structure of writing a resume, and more importantly, not even writing it, what you put in it and why you put certain things in your resume. I promise you, by the time this class is over, you will be a pro at constructing these things, and you'll know exactly how to do it, which is a big part of communicating to people that you are the best person for the job. So we're going to be doing that. Right? Now, probably the most important thing that we will do is your career plan outline. That is the gist of this class, and I'll talk about it when we do the structure of the outline of the syllabus, but that is going to be a big part of your actually it's a class project that you would be doing, and that is going to be important because if nothing else, I don't care how many tools you have in your kit. If you don't have a plan, then where are you going, right? You know, it's kind of like saying you're going to build a house and you don't have the architectural plans to build the house. That doesn't make sense. All right? Does everyone understand? Got an idea what the class is about? Yeah, yep. All right. So let's shift gears a little bit and we'll talk more about all that stuff. So put all that stuff on the back burner because we're worried about today, right? We're not gonna, Rome was not built in a day, so we're not gonna worry about all those things today, right? So what I want us to shift gears and talk a little bit about now is just how the class works in general. Like I said, if you've taken orientation, if you've seen my announcements, give me a thumbs up if you saw my announcement this morning in your email, my little video. Okay, so you have an idea of how it works. If you didn't, don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it, but I still want you to watch that video because the video also talks to you about other services at your campus that you need to be familiar with if you don't already know. But in this class, you have a daily live session. When do we have that, Miss Taylor? At 9 o'clock every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You're in it if you don't know. This is your daily live class, right? Now, Let me go ahead and let some of you off the hook because I know you're wondering. We will not be in class for 3 hours. I know you're disappointed. We will not be in class we will only be in class for the up to, okay, really an applause, up to the first hour. Up to, so that means that the live session doesn't even always run up to an hour. It just depends on what projects you're working on, because once we get into this thing and y'all start rolling, the live session may only go for 30-40 minutes, but in the first week it's probably going to go for an hour each day. So let me go ahead and manage your expectations. Once the live session is over, don't fret. You still have class, right? Don't fret. If you're not able to make the live session, the session is recorded. You guys heard me say the session was recorded, right? As soon as we're done, I will post the live session. I'm going to show you where to go to get it. Don't worry. It's going to be important for you to watch the live session. My friends, let me tell you, I've been teaching this class for so many years. And I say this and still I get a few that don't. Make sure you watch the live session. Make sure you watch the live session. 99% of your questions can be answered by coming to class, the live session, or watching the video. There's options here, right? I get it. You're busy, you got this, you got that. There's no force for you to show up to the live session. Make sure you watch it, because if you watch it, 99% of your questions can be answered. I always get text messages and phone calls asking questions that have already been addressed in the live session or through my announcements. And that lets me know that either you're not reading or you're not watching the video. It's very, very important that you do that. I'm going to give you another reason why it's important in a few minutes. To that end, this is an online session, my friends. Communication is key. It's like having a long distance relationship when you're doing an online session. You must talk to me. You must communicate, right? I'm communicating with you. I'm going to overly communicate with you. Not only do you have access to me every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the live session, you're going to have access to my contact information that I'm going to give you in a few minutes. It's already posted. If you've watched the video or you read the announcement, all my contact information is there already. You can reach out to me at any time. Now, I'm going to give you something that most instructors do not. I'm going to give you access to me. You have my personal cell phone number. You can text me at any time before 10 p.m. at night, okay? If you have any issues, if you have any questions, I am here for you. I am your first line of communication. If you have any questions about any assignment, anything that I said in class, you're not sure about this, whatever, you can call me or text me at any time. Only thing I ask that you do is, number one, say your name and say what class you're in. I need to know, are you in the AM class, the AM2 class, the ATA class? I need to know which class you're in. Do me that favor so I don't have to search for you. There's a lot of students, right? Other than that, say your name and state what you want. Very good. Now, if you were going to call me, the only thing that I ask is you shoot me a quick text to say, Miss Taylor, can you take a call to make sure I'm available to take a phone call? Sounds good? If you know you need immediate assistance, email me or call me. I'm sorry, text me or call me. If it's not an emergency, you can email me, right? Do not email me an emergency. All right, because you're not going to get an immediate response. I do check my emails throughout the day. I'm very good at communicating, but I'm giving you an option just to text me. So there you go. All right, very good. Now, does that mean that you can't engage with your campus? Absolutely not. If you've seen my video, you know there's a lot of support on your campus. However, if it has anything to do with the specifics of the class, especially if it's an assignment, they're just going to reach out to me. You don't need to go to your campus and say, Can you please ask Miss Taylor to open up this assignment? No, you just need to email Miss Taylor, and I encourage your campuses. Just call Miss Taylor. You know, she's cool like that. You ain't got to go through all that. My friends, I'm a military. Where my veterans at? Give me a thumbs up if you're a veteran. You appreciate you understand where I'm coming from. I like efficiency. I love efficiency. I don't like the surprises. I need to be fast. If you need something, just email me, text me. We don't need to go around the robin in 360. Just text me or call me. You got it? Very easy. I'm very simple. All right, that's what we're gonna do. Because I want you to be good, I want you to be comfortable, and I want you to get your work done on time. Very good. Now, so let's talk a little bit about these assignments, how it works. You're in an online class, right? Yes. Your online class stays open. It opened at this morning at 9 or even midnight, if you want to look at it that way. And it's going to close 4 weeks from now on a Thursday at 10 p.m. So that means you have access to your class for the entire month. Yes, not every assignment, but you have access to the class. Even though your live session, a portion of your live session is in the morning time from 9 to 12:30, right? That's your official class time. You still have access to your class 24 hours. Every day, you will have two different types of assignments. One will be, think of it like a homework assignment. The other one will be a participation question. There are two different types of assignments, and we'll discuss those in a minute. But I wanted you to understand that you have access to them. Now, the participation assignment is different from the regular assignment because the participation assignment is the only thing that has a deadline each day. All of your assignments have grace periods. What does that mean? That means that your assignment for today is for Monday, but you have until Sunday to do it at 11:59. Let's say tomorrow comes and you didn't do Monday's assignment. That's fine. You can do Mondays and Tuesdays, right? Let's say you can't do them until Thursday. You can do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Now, what I do, is it advisable to let your assignments pile up on you? No. Some of them are easy, some of them are not. So if you have an easy assignment, just, hey, knock it out. Knock it out. Don't. The people that do well in this class are the ones that just get it done and get it over with, because especially when the assignments are simple enough. But the main thing I want you to understand is that you have access to the assignment. And another thing too, you have access to the assignments, all of the assignments for the week on Monday. So when the class opens up, the week opens up, this week one opened up today, you have access to Monday's assignment, Tuesday's assignment, Wednesday's assignments, and Thursday's assignment as of today. And you have until Sunday to get all of them done. Do we understand? All right, very good. Now, let's go back to that participation question I was telling you about. You have a live session that we're in now. You have to get attendance. How does attendance work? Attendance works by you turning in your participation assignment before 12:30 each day, or by 12:30 each day. Because remember, your class is in session from 9 to 12:30. Does that mean at 1 o'clock I'm not in class anymore? Well, technically you're not in class, but you still have access to the class to do your homework. That's why we call it homework. Think about it, you get to take it home, you get to do it whenever you need to. The participation assignment must be done during your class session. So that participation assignment must be done by 12:30. And that is how you get your attendance. So how does that work in real time? At the end of each live session, whether you're here or you're watching it, I will give you a participation question. Sometimes it's simple. You must answer that participation question by 12:30. It's one of the reasons why I don't hold you guys until 12:30. Let's say we're out of here by 10 o'clock. You have between 10 and 12:30 to get that question answered. If you do not answer the question by 12:30, you will be marked absent. But what if I answer the question by 1? Well, you can't answer the question by 1 because the question closes at 12:30. Are there exceptions to that rule? Clearly, if there's emergencies, whatever, you're going to reach out to Miss Taylor, right? But other than that, no emergencies. 12:30, that's how attendance is counted. Once you miss that deadline, you're absent. But I was in the live session and we appreciate that. But you didn't do your participation question. So you get marked absent. But Miss Taylor, here it says that there's points associated with that. Yes, 25% of your grade. Now let's not confuse this because watch this. Yes, it's a question that has points associated with it. And it's 25% of your grade. So one counts as attendance. Attendance is not counted towards your grade, but the participation question response is. Now, have I given you an opportunity to go back and answer the question for the points, even though you didn't get that the attendance? Yeah, I may even be generous with that. And I'm gonna tell you, especially with this week, because like I said, there's upwards of 60 people in this class, and right now you see only 22 of us are present because I'm sure some people probably don't even know you have class yet. Who knows, right? So we're going to have people popping in and out over the next couple of days. So I'm going to be a little flexible with participation in this first week because I already know there's going to be some needs with that. So before you even ask, because I'm just already anticipating some of your questions, Ms. Taylor, I couldn't make the 12:30. I had a meeting. I still want to do that participation question for points. Would you allow me to do that? I'm flexible with that. You're not going to get attendance, but I'll at least let you turn it in for points. Do you understand? Especially if you come to me the next day, like, say, you had a doctor's appointment, you couldn't make attendance, you're fine, missing a day, it's not going to kill you, but you still want those points because you're a good student. Hey, I work with you. I work with anybody. If you're willing to work, I'm willing to work with you. That's my motto. You're willing to do the work, I'm willing to work with you. That's how I like to roll. Is that fair? All right. Now, you do have homework assignments, right? So your homework assignments, those that you have up until Sunday to do, like you don't even have to ask for my permission. It's open. You can do it, up until Sunday. That's 40% of your grade. So the participation question, a little short question. Every now and then you may have a little bit of a longer assignment on participation. So let me manage your expectations on that. But for the most part, simple enough. Same thing with assignments. Sometimes they're really easy. Sometimes it's going to take a little bit more effort. Manage your expectations on that. But it's 40% of your grade. You have a final project. We call it the career plan project. It comes in 3 parts. You'll do your first part tomorrow, actually. And that is your career plan outline. You're going to build that, right? So it's going to be step 1, 2, 3. That's 15% of your grade. You have 2 tests in here, a midterm and a final. So you don't have a test every week. You have one every other week. So it's going to be a midterm next Thursday and a final 2 weeks after that. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've had students that as long as they come to the live session, I've seen my students do very well on the midterm and the final without even reading the book. You do have a book and I'll show you where it goes, right? That's how efficient we are in the live session. Especially for those of us, everybody learns differently. Some people learn by hearing, some people learn by seeing. If you're an auditory learner, meaning you learn by hearing, it will definitely behoove you to come to the live session, because once you hear it in action, because sometimes reading things and then, interpreting them in your head versus hearing the instructor talk about them is easier. I've seen students do very, very well, come to the live session, knocking out their assignments, and a lot of them get A's, and they do very, very well. If I'm not even an auditory learner, so if you're the type of person that has to read it, hey, I'm definitely down for that too. Sometimes people like to just watch the video on their own, read go through the PowerPoints, read the text, and they do very well. So, yourself, right? So we'll talk about when you sign your pledge that at the end of the day, you have to, manage your time. In an online class, you kind of got to be in control of managing your time. You're not going to be stuck sitting in a classroom for 3 hours with me. So you got to manage the other time outside of this live session, right? So that's how we're going to talk about that, because I'm going to switch over to the classroom and I'm going to walk you through the class. But before we do that, does anybody have any questions? All right, so now we're about to do a quick course walkthrough. I encourage you to open up another tab and follow along with me. I think a lot of people find that to be helpful, even if you've already walked through the class, because they probably didn't talk about some of the things I'm going to talk about, but you can at least follow along so you can see where everything is. All right, so let me stop sharing this really quickly. Let me tee up the classroom. Now I'm going to show just one class. It may not be your class, but they all are the same, so don't freak out about that. Like ATA's, your classroom is yellow, but it's all the same. Let me see if I can, is it let me do it here? All right. All right. So right now I'm in a classroom. I'm going to go to the home screen. The only thing I've done is log in by going to the dashboard. Does everybody know how to get here to this? Yeah. Okay, very good. All right. So when you log in and you click on home, this is like your landing page, right? And it kind of tells you where you are. I said to you that at the top of your page, it'll tell you what classroom you're in. So if you look right here, you see that? See how it says SLS 1110 3U-AM? That's your class. Some of you may have SLS 3U AM 2, right? And ATA, I'm not sure, yours may be even different, but I know your, right? So if you're in Fort Myers, you know what I'm talking about. You can just put ATA or Fort Myers when you address me. All right, so this is how you know what class you're in. Now, if you scroll down, oh, too fast. It tells you here when class begins and when it ends. It says that it starts today and class ends on the 26th at 10 p.m. If you scroll down a little further, it gives you office hours. We're required to have office hours, but Miss Taylor said that I can reach out to her anytime I want. That's how my daughter sounds. My mommy says, right? She actually told her teacher that. So that's what Miss Taylor says. And you can tell them that when you try to reach out to them. You say, Miss Taylor said I can reach out to them anytime I want. So these are just some office hours I put, but you can reach out to me anytime you want. And I'll give you my contact information if you don't have it already. Right? This also tells you when the live session is. Y'all see that? It says 9 a.m., right? Class session is 9 a.m. and it's on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Yes, we do not have a live session on Friday. Now, most of you guys are here, but for those that are going to watch the video, this is where you click. This is a little shortcut that I've done. Not all classes have this, but these are little shortcuts that are in my classroom, you can click here as a shortcut to get to this live session. I'll show you where else you can go later. And this is an important tab here because this is where you go to get the past live sessions. So let's say tomorrow you have a dentist appointment, you can't make the live session, you're going to come back home by 10 or whenever, you're going to go here to where it says past live sessions. Right now it's empty, but once we're done, it's going to say Monday 3/2. Can y'all believe it's March? 2026 live session, and there's going to be a link. I post all of my live sessions on YouTube. You can click on it and it's going to take you to the live session for today. You can watch it, get to the end, get that live session participation question, answer it by 12:30 for your credit. Or if you just have to leave early, or you want to go back and watch the video to study for the test, you can come here and you can get access to the live session. These live sessions stay up throughout the entire class. Okay? Now, I'm just going to go back to the home screen because I just want to see where I want you guys to see where you are. What I've also done here is done little shortcuts. You don't have to use these buttons, but sometimes I find it helpful, just to have a little navigation. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, you can have it take you to your grades. These buttons are just taking you to the modules that are right here under this tab. You can click here and access all of this, but it'll be more like a laundry list. So if I click here for week 1, just to show you an example, and I want you to notice how when I click to week 1, this is the what you need to take care of for this week. Now, the first thing that you have to do is your online pledge. Your online pledge is very, very important. This basically allows you access to the class. You're taking this pledge because you're agreeing to manage your time and do this class remotely, right? You're not in a classroom. Nobody's looking over your shoulders. You're basically saying you're going to be the one that is going to log into this classroom, not your baby brother that you're paying $100 to do your work for you. Not that any of us have ever done that. That you are going to be the one doing it. So you're going to click here on online pledge. And basically, let me show you as a student. You're going to have this little pledge here, and it's going to say that this is an online class, it's self-directed, it requires a high level of responsibility and dedication on your part as an online learner, right? And this is all online learners throughout the online learning universe. You are responsible for your own work, your own progress, and your own grade, because we're going to open up assignments. You're going to have access to them. It's up to you to do the reading. Nobody is requiring you to do any of the work ahead of time. If you choose to do it, that's at your discretion. You need to manage your progress. You have access to your grades link over here. You can monitor your grades, and I'll show you how to do that. And, so there you go. So you're going to be responsible for turning in all of your own assignments. You don't need to say, Miss Taylor, did I turn in my assignment? I'm going to say check your grades, because your grades section will tell you if you turned something in or not, right? So if you agree with this statement, you hit take quiz. If you're following along, go ahead and do it now. And it basically has the statement at the top, and you are basically going to attest once for the entire class that you did not receive any unauthorized help for doing your assignments, i.e., you did not pay your baby brother to do your homework for you. So you're going to say, I agree, this is my work, and you're going to submit quiz. You can do that now. Once you do that, then you have access to the assignments. You see, I got my little grade over here too. Right? Now, once you do this, you saw how I went home. You can click home and go back to modules, or you can just go to modules here, or you can click next and it'll take you to the next thing that was on that screen, because you saw how I was on week 1 and it said online pledge, but then it has something underneath it. It was accessing your book. So if I click next, it's going to take me to my readings, which is my books. But the problem is you haven't activated your subscription yet. So what you're going to do, you're going to go to modules right here to the left. Oh, that's syllabus, modules. And right at the top, it says to activate your subscription. And give it a minute. I don't want to lose anybody. You guys with me? Okie dokie. All right. So all you have to do is click activate your subscription. Look at that. Thank you for activating your subscription. Now, if you go back to week 1, you can click on that, next, or you can click on it. So you may say, well, how do I get back there, Miss Taylor? Because you did a lot of clicking around. I was on home and then I hit week 1. You can just skip that and go to modules. And think of modules like a table of contents. So that home page is just my little shortcuts. You can just go to the table of contents, which is right here, modules, and you'll see here it has the book, activate your book. If you've ever wanted to read the whole book is not assigned to you for this class, but that's the whole book. You can connect to your career book and read it if you want at your leisure, or some people download it so they can have it. But you can scroll down here and what you want to get to, you can get past some of this stuff. We'll come back to those things. You'll notice here too, you can also get to the live session. I have a little shortcut on the home screen, but if you just want to go to modules, you can click right here on the live section. For those of you that may not be as familiar with Teams, you can learn how to use Teams here, right? And then you can also get to the previous recordings here too, right? Just another way to do it. You notice the online pledge is also here, right? Which we just took that. You saw I got my little check mark, right? Now I can get into week 1. And week 1, every week will always start with the chapters you're supposed to read for that week. So for week 1, we're in chapters 1, 2, and 7. So I want you, well, let me just double check, because I think it's 1, 2, and 7. Yeah, 1, 2, and 7. Yeah. So you see here, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 7. So you can click right here on chapter 1. I just posted it here for you, or you can go to the whole book and do it. But if you just click here, once you activate your subscription, you should just be able to click on the chapter and you can read it at your leisure. Please make sure you start to read chapter 1 now. We will be in chapter 1 tomorrow. All right. So if I close that, I'm just going to close the chapter. Now, because I've already clicked on something, instead of me going back to modules, I can just hit next. Like that first thing I clicked on said the overview of the readings, right? So now I know I need to read chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 7. Now let me go next. That next section is going to take you to turning in your assignments. So every day you will have something that looks like this. This is that participation / attendance assignment. And it will say the week you're on, so you don't get confused, week 1. It'll say the day, which is Monday. And then it will say live conference participation assignment. So you know you're in the right place. Another way that you'll know you're in the right place. Now I already see an error I need to change. It says it's open all day, but it's not. You'll know you're in the right place because you won't see the actual assignment. It'll just say answer the question given you in the live conference. Should say given to you. Sorry, I fixed that. This is where you go and you will turn it in. So how do you turn it in? Well, what you do is you click this green button here. It says start assignment. And then it gives you different options. Now for the participation question, it's a simple question. You know, what color is the sky? It's not that simple, but let's pretend. So you don't need to upload a whole Word document for that. None of your assignment, well, maybe one will require you to upload an actual document. Most of your assignments you can do in this text box. So for your participation question, you just make sure you answer it in a complete sentence. If I said, what do you want to be when you grow up? Then you would say, I want to be a fireman when I grow up. Answer it in a complete sentence and hit submit. And you make sure you do that by 12:30. Once you do that, that triggers your attendance. The registrar's office uses this assignment that you turned in to record your attendance. So I'm not even the one that is going to make sure you have attendance. It's going to be the registrar's office. If you don't have an assignment there turned in, you will not get, by 12:30, you don't get attendance. Well, Miss Taylor, how do I check my grades? How do I know if I turned something in? Sometimes technology can be so wonky. I get it. So what you can do, you go here to grades. And by the way, the regular homework assignment, it looks just like that participation assignment, but with the homework assignment, and I'll show you in a second, it actually has the assignment there. So the assignment is not given to you in the live session. Even though we'll discuss it, you can actually go and get the details of the assignment in that assignment. If you click on grades, it outlines all of your assignments. Now don't start scrolling and getting nervous, but you know, all of your assignments are here so you can see them. But your live participation assignment is here. You can always tell whether you've done it. If you haven't done it, it's going to be a dash. It's going to be like you haven't turned anything in. If you've done it, it'll be a little squiggly piece of paper and it says you turned it in. Ms. Taylor just hasn't graded it yet. If there's a grade there, then Ms. Taylor has graded it. If you earn anything under a 60, and sometimes even, I always put notes anyway if you don't get full points, you'll see a little piece of paper here with a little check mark. That means I put a comment to you. Some of these assignments, specifically the first one on Thursday, if you do, or maybe no, tomorrow, if you don't do that assignment right, like your long-term career project, your resume assignment, I'm not going to grade it. I always give you a chance to fix it. You know, so you may not see a grade, but if you see a little note here, like if you know you turned it in and you see a note here, and what does that teacher want? Let me click and see. Now I'll probably say, hey, Sarah, you didn't do that right. You need to add ABC. Go back and fix it. So you'll know. So anytime you see a little note here, but your paper's still there, meaning I haven't graded it, that means you need to check it. If you see a grade there and a note, check it. Let me check it anyway, so you'll know what I've said to you. Okay? All right. Let me go back to the other assignment because I just want to show you. If I go back down to you notice here how it says week 1 readings. And then we click that next button, and then it took us to the live participation assignment. And now here it's the actual homework assignment. Now, notice how it has up here, it's worth 100 points. It became available on Monday, and you have the whole week to turn it in. The question is right here. So after you read chapter 1, this question will make sense to you. How can an online presence like LinkedIn, Instagram, etc., enhance your career goals, enhance your career and access to potential employers? And it says provide at least 2 examples. So you see your actual homework.
How much that can help you in
My resume.
Hey, put yourselves on mute.
I've got.
Hold on. Wait. Oh, geez. You guys, make sure you put yourselves on mute. The session is recorded. I just don't want anything you say to be used against you to court of law. No, okay. All right. So, all right, there you go. Anyway, so that is, you can see the actual assignment here, right? And then you do it the same way I told you, right? So you can just go hit start assignment. Even that question you can put in the text box. If I don't give you a word count, that means you don't have a word count. Some assignments I will say, make sure you answer in 200 words. Make sure if I don't tell you that, then you don't have a word count on it. Yes? Sounds good? Any questions? All right. So let me just go through here, make sure there are no questions. All right. So let me stop sharing this. I think that's all I wanted to show you guys. And let me put our... All right, y'all. Well, if you don't have any questions, that means dun, 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 dun. It's participation question time. So here we go. Here we go. Our first participation question for the day says, what do you hope to gain from this course? What do you hope to gain from this course? Make sure that you answer this question by 12:30 in a complete sentence. Please do not say knowledge. My grade. Well, guess what, y'all? That's it. Now you guys are gonna leave me. I have separation anxiety. Okay, fine. Go ahead and go. Just go ahead and go. That's it for today, guys. It's over. You can relax. Hasta mañana. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Same time, same place. Oh, I forgot something. I forgot to give you my number. See, I was being so, but you guys should already have it. Do you guys know where it's in the announcements? Okay. But if you want me to give it to you now, it's 689-203-4041. 689-203-4041. Sorry about that. All right. Bye-bye.